Alright, what's up YouTube, this is SPADE here, back again with my TheFlamingSpade Let's Play, and today we are going to continue the cross-examination of Jake Marshall, and last time we left in a really interesting cliffhanger. So, the theory is that the guy who apparently, the guy who we thought was Bruce Goodman was apparently Jake Marshall. But was that really the case? We are going to get the answer right now. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure, but he didn't see it. Jackson! May I point out, though, what Officer Meekins did not know. He didn't know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the reaction when confronted, yes. Well, when I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card. Sir? Yes? And how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about Officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple, he couldn't show it. Oi! As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that his cover... Yeah, his cover would have been blown. Yes. Officer Meekins would have realized that man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? I bet he's gonna bite his... yeah. That thing. What in the world is that thing that he's biting anyways? Is it his scarf? No, that's... I have no idea. Anyways, I digress. You've got quite an imagination, partner. You got a term for that, it's called circumstantial evidence. Right, he's still denying it. What a dick. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective, unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as a victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Evidence, Mr. Wright, do you have Mr. Evidence? Any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as a victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Oh, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Edward, help me out. It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. Come on, Edward. Don't be a dick. You don't like this guy either. Be on my side for a change, please. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Magumbos! Trick! Nick! Try thinking outside the box. But the box is so small. I can't see outside. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? there was no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been. Which means he originally didn't plan to open his locker. Yes, according to defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. Yes. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, says, what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I still don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Doom. Very well, let's take yet another look at the videotape, security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Why? I really have no idea. Let's see. There he dropped a piece of paper. Okay. Let me see. Okay, this is the beginning. Okay. And what could this mysterious evidence? He dropped a piece of paper. Please show us evidence why the witness had to open his locker. Well, I don't even understand why we have to prove this kind of bullshit. Because we already know that the only person who could have opened the locker is Jake Marshall. So, why do we have to go through this kind of bullshit? Shenanigans. Now we can't present anything from here, so it has to be something on this videotape indeed. But what? Okay. So, please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Like, why? I seriously don't know, but we already know that Jake opened it. Why the witness had to open his locker? Oh wait. Let me see. Could it be? I'm gonna go with this. I have a theory. For some reason you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, and I don't know what the reason was yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekings barge in on you. Haha, I'm definitely onto something here. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, the magic H word. Officer Meekings panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that. Indeed. That's why. Indeed, that all makes sense. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, huh, partner? So you're admitting it? Now then, Officer Marshal. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated you all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgewood. Huh? 2 years ago. Here we go. If you were only half the persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Boom! Officer Marshal! Tell us the court what you did. All of it! Alright. It seems the time has come. Doom! Marshal's confession. Finally. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID, and dressed like him, I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekings. I knocked him out. Okay. And managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Large quantities of blood traces were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekings managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It looked like too much blood for that. Well. Okay, so he confessed, so what do we need to find here? Let me see. You weren't expecting him. Well, let's start pressing him, you know. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. Are you blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Edgewood? Where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. At least double order. No, nothing. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone's involved here is related in some way to the case. You better take another look at the files. At the files? Oh. Well, let's press him on everything. You mean... do you... blah blah blah, as partner, SL9 incident, 2 years have passed. Yeah, it was gonna be closed entirely. The transfer was that day. Not if I have anything to do with that. That incident's not over. So that's why you went there, but then Meekings came and kinda ruined your plan. Yes. Yes, do. And look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner, the case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of the investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That's why I... Okay, we already know that there was a Neil Marshall killed. That's why he was so into this case. But let's see if we can dig something else out. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera and the detective's ID card. Yeah. I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out the lost item record. Yeah. I returned his ID card. Oh really? I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, why I cannot pronounce that? I digress. You managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Normally that locker shouldn't have opened. So it opened because a rubber glove was stuck in the door by a chance? Then Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Okay, you knocked him out. Yes. Let's just say I was a little surprised, yes. I only planned being there evidence for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come during that short time. Yes, he's one in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I have to think a little more about his race in this year. Indeed. Anyways, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out like that way. Yeah. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So what happened next? Okay. So, you did your research beforehand, right? Right. 6 hours if all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. Yeah. However, your bloodied coat in your struggle with Officer Meekings, yeah. Blah blah blah, indeed. I opened my locker, stashed it in there, okay. What was Officer Meekings doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So, what you were saying on that day... Boom. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Well, are you going to talk? Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. Okay. Well, tell us. Why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for those crimes. One thing I can say for sure, he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at the trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think is his real reason. Yes. Everyone involved here is blah blah blah. Okay, I think we're gonna call it for the day. And next time when we come back, we are going to present the real reason for Jake in order to make him talk about more about this SL9, I was gonna say DL6 again, but SL9 shenanigans. So, next time we are going to find out more information, which is definitely going to be interesting. So, definitely, again, stay tuned for that. So, until next time, this is the Flaming Spade, signing out. Peace!